welcome your host of Bombing Run, General A.A. Ron.
Thank you. I'm General A.A. Ron, and it's time for everyone's favorite comedian game show, Bombing Run. Woo! Yeah, all right. We got a bunch of warm comedians in here. That's going to be fun. The rules for Bombing Run are simple. Each comedian combatant gets to do their 5-minute sets, while the mysterious comedian judge will be looking for their setup punch and then appearance in front of a live studio audience. Warning combatants. If you say the F or C word, the F-bomb will come bomb your set, and you can't be picked as Joker Ace. 2 new rules for Bombing Run. If you leave more than 25 seconds on the clock, you'll be considered a dud, and you can't be Joker Ace. But if you go over your time, then you'll set off a time bomb, and you can't be considered Joker Ace. So everybody, please welcome my mysterious comedian judge tonight, Bad Judgment. Bad Judgment. They stole all my gum. That's what happened. Yeah, I had I went to Sam's Club. I bought like 30 packs of gum, you know, the big packs, and they chewed through 29 packs of it. I really appreciate that. Yeah. No, but they are a comedian. They have been in the business for years, so they know what they're looking for, okay? So with that being said, let's meet our comedian combatants for game number 1, shall we? Contestant number 1.
Steve Schwarz. I'm from Hillsborough, which is in central New Jersey.
And now contestant number 2.
Hi, I'm Stacey Shipman, and I'm from Weymouth, Massachusetts.
All right. And now contestant number 3.
Hi, I'm Bob Lopatkin from Great Neck, Long Island.
All right. These 3 comedian combatants will be doing combat on the game show known as Bombing Run. So comedian combatants, to your battle stations. Comedian combatants, to your battle stations. As we go to our first comedian combatant for tonight, let's give it up for Steve Schwarz, everybody. Yeah! Woo!
Thank you. So yeah, when I was 10 years old, my dad overshared with me, and he told me that he had sex with my stepmother once a week. And even as a little kid, I was like, oh, once a week. That's so sad. So little. But you know, I was married for 25 years, and I realize now, holy crap, that guy was a stud once a week. I would kill for that now. So when I was 16 years old, I had a really bad skin condition, really bad acne, and I had it for 5 years. And 2 weeks after it went away, finally, I started losing my hair. So the moral of the story is, don't bother ever trying to like yourself. Just give up. By the way, folks, I am a life coach, and I preach positivity. So see me after this if you're interested in, you know, becoming a client. Does everyone remember the Life is Good company back in 2019? T-shirts, bumper stickers that all said Life is Good on it.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't heard too much from them lately, have we?
Nope.
Right? But they're coming back in 2024. They're rebranding themselves, and their new company name is We Were Wrong. This is not good. So yeah, I already told you about my dad. When I was 5 years old, he took me to the park, and we went on the seesaw. And while we're going up and down, when I was high in the air, he jumped off, and I came crashing down and broke my collarbone. I know, awful, right? It's not funny at all. So when my son was 5, I took him to the park to show him how a real dad treats his kid. So while we're up in the air, going up and down, when I was high up in the air, he jumped off, and I came crashing down. And while I was lying there on the ground, my son walks up to me, points at me, and goes, "Hey, Dad, Grandpa told me to tell you you're still a wuss." You got me twice, my dad did, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I have a Fitbit. I don't know if anybody here has a Fitbit. I was out for a walk the other night. It was pitch dark, and a car started driving down my block. It had to be doing like 55 and a 25. And for some reason, when it's your block, it bothers you more when someone speeds. And I could tell it was a kid driving because of the music playing. So when the car drove by me, I yelled out, "Hey, asshole, you suck, and tell your parents they did a crappy job raising you." I felt great, empowered. About an hour later, my daughter walks in the house and goes, "Hey, Dad, some jerk told me to tell you you're a crappy parent." I guess I should have looked at the license plate, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody here do 23andMe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got mine back. Was pretty surprising. I came back, actually not surprising at all. I came back 99.999999999% Jew. So about a week later, I got a phone call from a relative who found me on there. His name's Larry Cedar, and he was bragging to me, blah blah blah. I'm a Hollywood actor. I played the Gremlin in the Twilight Zone movie in the '80s. I was on Deadwood for 3 seasons. He's going on and on. He's like, finally, I said, "Hey, Larry, I'm in entertainment too. I'm a comedian." He's like, "Really? Where would I have seen you? Netflix? Hulu?" And I'm like, have you ever been to comedy night at the Hillsborough, New Jersey diner? I mean, he is from California, but you never know. You never know.
Mm.
So anybody here like Star Wars? A lot of Star Wars
Ooh,
fans,
yeah.
right? Yeah. I have a shirt that says Star Wars on it. I was out, going for a walk in my neighborhood, and I saw this girl. She couldn't have been more than 9 or 10, turns to her dad and goes, "Look, Dad, it's the world's oldest Star Wars nerd." And I was like, I'm a little old to be bullied. So I turned to her, I go, "Look, it's the world's youngest asshole." And then she started to cry,
Oh.
which makes me the nerd and the asshole. So yeah. Anybody here eat clean? Eating clean? You into that? Eating clean? Yeah, I eat clean too. I always take a shower before I go to McDonald's. So yeah, I'm not very smart. Although I am a college professor. People always announce me as a smart comic, but I used to teach at Rutgers and I'd make $10,000 a semester, but I gave it up because it was cutting into my comedy time, which pays nothing. Do you know what class I taught at Rutgers that I gave up?
What?
Financial literacy. I should have read my own textbook. Thank you, everyone.
All right, let's give it up for Professor Steve Schwarz, everybody. Yeah. Woo! And Steve, where can we find you on social media?
Instagram, Steve_Schwarz with no T_NJ.
Awesome. Go check him out on those. And now, you know what? His long distant relative can find him on a TV app called DBTV. So,
All right.
hey, there you go. He won't have to hit that diner open mic anymore to
All right,
find
I'm
you.
moving up. Thank you for the
You're moving
opportunity.
up. That's right. That's what's so much fun about this show. Let's give him a big round of applause for that first the first volley out of game 1. All right, and Bad Judgment. Are you ready for the next comedian combatant?
I'm ready for the next comedian, General A.A.
Okay. All right. Good to go. Okay. Okay. Judgment. Okay. Yeah. There's a lot of mint and judge puns going on right now. I don't know if I can chew all through them or not. All right. But you know what? We're going to smell really fresh during this show. But you know what? We're going to our second comedian for game number 1. Please welcome to the stage, Stacey Shipman, everybody. Yeah.
Oh, nice to be here. So my cultural background is Syrian. Growing up, I had it all, right? Close family, great food, a unibrow. That thing rivaled Bert from Sesame Street. It was so thick. So I also rocked the sideburns with that, in case you were wondering. My mom called me an unconventional beauty.
Oh.
The kids at school called me Wolfman.
Oh.
That was a confidence booster. But it was nothing that a little therapy and an electric current in every hair follicle couldn't take care of. So, no, I mean, seriously, like big shout out to the woman who finally helped me tame that beast. I'm pretty sure I single-handedly funded her early retirement. I think that she's enjoying her beach house on Nantucket right about now. But like I said, I am Syrian. I'm third generation, but the roots were really strong. My grandparents learned fluent Arabic. My grandparents learned fluent Arabic. My parents learned to understand Arabic, and I learned not to speak it in airports. So instead, I give my cats Arabic names like falafel and hummus. But speaking of hummus, in a Syrian household, we eat a lot of hummus. And I like so much that honestly we could have created world peace. And like, why not, right? Nothing brings people closer together than like breaking bread, having a meal, garlic breath. So I love growing up Syrian. So these days though, my husband and I are into MMA.
Ooh.
Mixed marital arts.
Nice.
So I'm into the comedy, an activity that makes people laugh. He's into karate, an activity that's for 5-year-olds. I went to one of his competitions recently, and one of the other moms came up to me. She's like, "Oh, which one is yours?" I'm like, "The one with hair on his chest, looks like a grandpa. That's mine." And the other day, my husband's like, "Stace, I know what I want to do for my birthday this year." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Karate party." And I'm like, "Gonna karate kick you right out the door. You're 55." Like, no karate parties for you, man. But it is something else being married to a guy who thinks he's a samurai. The other day, I asked him to cut a salad. He pulled out his sword, and I was like, "Dude, it's just a cucumber. Like, settle down. Taking this a little too seriously here." But I mean, he is very, very committed, very, very committed to it. He's learning Japanese, and so the other day he called me Soke instead of Stacey. I looked it up because I didn't know what that meant. Turns out it means grandmaster, and I was like, after 20 years of marriage, he finally admitted that I'm in charge. But it can be scary sometimes though, being married to a guy like this, because sometimes he practices in his sleep. And the other night, I've abruptly woken up with an elbow to my jaw. Whoa. It was scary. And now I have to sleep in my own samurai armor, bubble wrap. But I will say bedtime's a whole thing with him now. Like, he wants to bow getting in and out of bed. That's how committed. So I have to say, "Good night, Michael's son." And "Good morning, Michael's son." And finally I was like, "Good Lord, why are we doing this? I'm in charge here." But I'll leave you with this. We didn't have kids of our own, so we adopted. We have a boy and a girl. They're 12 and 20, the love of our lives. They're great kids. They still like to snuggle in bed, which I love, and they get along really well for a couple of mixed breeds. Cats. They're cats. They're cats. It's hard being a cat mom because I have to answer questions like, "Do you have kids?" And I'm like, "No, but I married one." So being married to a karate kid has to count. That's your dad.
All right, let's give it up for Stacey Shipman, everybody. Stacey, where can we find you on social media?
Instagram is Stacey A. Shipman. It's Stacey with an EY. And Facebook is Stacey Hamwey Shipman.
All right. Go find her on that. And don't pick on her cats, falafel and hummus. And they're not ready to eat either. That's not, it's funny. I've been married for 9 years and I dress up as a general for this comedy game show. My wife's not close to any part of this room whatsoever. She will not be in the same room with me like this. So hats off to you being in the same room with your husband at karate practice. Yeah. All right. That was awesome. Judgment. Minty fresh comedy is always great. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Are you ready for the next comedian combatant?
I am ready for the next comedian, General A.
Okay, you are. So let's welcome our third comedian combatant for game number 1. Let's give it up for Bob Lopatkin, everybody. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Now, as I get older, I look back a lot. And this morning, I was thinking about my very first job as a busboy in a restaurant back in high school. I actually got fired after I got my finger stuck in the dishwasher, even though he enjoyed it.
Whoa!
I just love the warm weather now. It's great, but I find summer's a lot different now that I'm older. I think like I'm 17, but I suffer like an old guy. Last summer, I did a 62-mile charity bike ride for Alzheimer's over in Boston. At the end of the ride, thank you. At the end of the ride, they had a spare parts booth for all the cyclists. So I went in because I needed a new front tire, new rear brakes, and a new right hip. Now, after the ride, we went to a Boston bakery. You might have read about this. The day they unveiled a Guinness record 850-pound hot brownie with 20,000 milligrams of THC.
Whoa!
I got to tell you, the first 2 pounds were hard to swallow, but the rest we finished in no time at all. Matter of fact, I forgot about my bad hip. I was just recently diagnosed with ADD. My kids were diagnosed early, back when ADD was still ADHD, but they say it's a hereditary disorder. I must have gotten it from them. Nobody when I was a kid had ADD. We knew about VD. We knew about double Ds. And she was probably the reason that led to the outbreak of STDs, but no one had ADD. My kids diagnosed me. They noticed I was zoning out and losing interest, even when they weren't asking me for money. ADD has been described as a brain traffic jam, but many times it's like a traffic nightmare. It's so bad that each time I cooked an omelet, my wife would come running down to watch me because it's the only time she ever saw me fold anything. I couldn't sit for a movie, read a book, or even follow simple directions. I bought a desk from IKEA for my daughter when she was in middle school. She's now 32 and it's almost assembled. But wow, Adderall's like easy pass for the brain. 10 milligrams, and I actually read my first book.
Whoa!
All my life, I thought there really was a cat in the hat. And in one sitting, I watched 4 decades of Saturday Night Live.
Ooh!
I saw it go from being really funny to really not funny. And 20 milligrams got me to speed read through every Harry Potter book at one time. And I tried to fly on my own broomstick. Didn't work out well. But I did reconnect to my wife with my magic wand.
Oh, God.
And if I doubled that dose, which meant I'd have to steal some from my kids, I could actually listen. For the first time, I could actually listen to my wife talk about her feelings. And now I know why she's scared to grow old with me. A little bit about my family. I have a small family. My mom was an only child. My dad was an only child. My sister's an only child. But I have a wife and 2 daughters. Now, I'm pro-choice, but only to the point where the fetus can survive on its own. I now know that can go all the way up into the 2nd trimester of graduate school. Last year, after about 200 years of school and lots of my money, my younger daughter finally graduated. She's now a microbiologist. How much would I have had to pay for her to become a regular-sized biologist? When my older daughter became pregnant, she wanted to share every detail of her pregnancy with me now. I don't mind hearing a little bit about what's going on, but spare me the play-by-play. Dad, at 5 weeks, the baby's the size of an apple seed. At 7 weeks, a blueberry, then a grape and a pineapple. Is she making a baby or a fruit salad? I didn't know if I was going to be a grandfather or a produce manager. She told me she had to throw up every morning and had to pee all the time. I said, oh, dear, maybe my wife is pregnant.
Oh!
And her hormones were causing food cravings and acne and hair loss. And that's when I thought, oh, no, maybe I might be pregnant.
Oh!
Towards the end of the pregnancy, she said, Dad, I have a problem. My placenta is too close to my uterus lining. What am I supposed to do with that? Aren't they all in the same vicinity? I don't want to know what's going on down there. The last time I cared about what was going on down there, the Stones played the Nassau Coliseum. 30 years later, I can't always get what I want. Thank you very much. I'm Bob Lopatkin.
Woo!
All right, let's give it up for Bob Lopatkin, everybody. Yeah, and Bob. Where can we find you on social media?
Website, boblopatkin.com, Facebook, Bob Lopatkin.
All right, go check him out on that. That's awesome. And yeah, I didn't have ADD as a kid. I think I had MINUS. I think I did that. I couldn't add. Judgment. Are you ready to tell me who's Joker Ace for game number 1? Are you? Because let's give a big round of applause for all our comedian combatants for game number 1. You know, oh my gosh, Steve Schwarz, Stacey Shipman, Bob Lopatkin, and Judge. Are you okay? Are you suffering from something? All right, so that's the Joker Ace for game number 1, Judge. All right, so Joker Ace for game number 1 is Bob Lopatkin, everybody. Woo! Yeah. And Bob, you'll be on Dogfight after game number 2 and right after these words. All right, it's time for game number 2 of Bombing Run. Yeah. Good. And let's meet our comedian combatants for game number 2, shall we? Contestant number 1.
Hi, everybody. I'm Linda Marcus Smith from Portland, Oregon, originally.
All right, now contestant number.
Hi, I'm Dave Matters, and I'm from New York, New York.
Awesome, and now contestant number 3.
Hi, I'm Grace Yao from Denver, Colorado.
All right, these comedian combatants will be doing combat on the game show known as Bombing Run. So comedian combatants, to your battle stations. Comedian combatants, to your battle stations. As we go to our first comedian combatant for the night, let's give it up for Linda Marcus Smith, everybody. Yeah!
Hi, everybody. I'm Linda Marcus Smith, and I am a proud Army veteran. You're welcome. And I'm also a great pretender. Do you know what a great pretender is? Whoa, yes, I'm the great pretender. I pretend everything's okay. Anybody with me?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's called, that's the only way I can be an okay boomer, is to pretend. Yeah. I started comedy very young in life, and it's hard to be okay with that. You know, the people in my hometown wanted nothing to do with the old lady telling jokes. Can you imagine? Do you know what I had to do to get the young people to pay attention? I had to do sit-ups through my entire set just to get them to quit going out for smoke breaks and pay attention to me. They came back in and started filming me. This was filming in 1951, guys. They started filming me. The video went viral, and that's why you get to see me here today, because of my haters. Yeah, give it up for my haters.
Woo!
I get a lot of compliments that I have to be okay with, you know. Oh, my barista says, "Oh, Linda, you look so good for your age." For my age, you just reminded me I'm getting older. You look great for a dropout from the hair club for men. Another time he said, "You look like you're aging backwards." Okay, but Benjamin Button disease has never been a sex symbol, so knock it off, Jim. The best compliment Jim, my barista, ever gave me on a rainy day, windy in Portland, Oregon, which is basically every day, he told me that I look just like Marilyn. And I was like, "Oh, I love that." He goes, no. Manson, Marilyn Manson.
Oh.
I don't think I look like Marilyn. It's all right. I think I look like if Marilyn had had a sister. She didn't, but let's say she did. If Marilyn had had a sister, and the sister had to pop out of a cake and sing "Happy Birthday" to Ted Kennedy. That would be my doppelganger. Yeah, you know, I love the fact that I'm getting older and getting these weird compliments, but I had the strangest compliment come from the biggest comedy club in Portland, Oregon. They told me, "You're so amazing, but we're never going to book you." Oh, you ruined that compliment. Why not? Well, because you're too old and you have nothing in common with the young people. What? Yeah. So you know what I did, young people? I Googled it. And I found out us old people have a lot in common with you young people. Let's quit bashing each other. We got a lot in common. For instance, I know young people love hookups and one night stands. So do I. I love one night stands. That's why I get mine at IKEA. Best prices in town. Sure, you have to put it together. But you know, they wanted me to pick out my one night stand at IKEA by color. Come on, folks. I'm woke. How am I going to be an okay boomer and not be woke? I pick out my one night stands by height, weight, and girth, because size matters even at IKEA. And I know that you young people, I know you love like things like the planet. I love the planet. Just because I'm a boomer and us boomers messed it up. I mean, talk about giving you job security. Where's my Nobel Peace Prize? But I refuse to recycle. I'm sorry, young people. I'm not going to recycle. Because you see, I took the trash to the curb one time. And I'm never going to let that son of a gun back in again. That's my time. I'm Linda Marcus Smith.
All right, let's give it up for Linda Marcus Smith, everybody. Linda, where can we find you on social media?
I'm on Instagram and Facebook as Linda Marcus Smith, and my YouTube is Lynn Smith 2476, and I don't even know why.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Thank you.
That was awesome. Thank you so much. Let's give her another big round of applause, everybody.
Thank you.
And I want to mention to you guys, this is the first time the judge isn't on the Zoom. The judge is actually in the room in here. So they are actually a comedian I know in Detroit. I can't reveal their face or their name because the witness protection program states at Bombing Run that they'll end up in a Motel 6 on 8 Mile Road. So, and you should ask the last two mysterious comedian judges how they're really loving life there right now. There's shootouts all the time, right, Judge? They visit them all the time. They know not to say anything because you recognize their voice, it's game over. So I don't want them getting caught. So that's why they're real silent. All right. So Judgment, are you ready for the next comedian combatant? Okay, you are. All right. So let's welcome our second comedian combatant of game number 2. Let's give it up for Dave Matters, everybody. Yeah. Woo!
Yeah, so the other day I found myself, I was in the shower and I found myself singing the Scooby-Doo Where Are You theme song. I'm a grown man. Many of my friends are movers and shakers, and I'm in the shower singing about and to a cartoon dog. Not even a real dog, a cartoon dog, asking him to help me solve mysteries. My life took a turn. I do a lot about myself when I'm in the shower, though. For instance, I'm very optimistic. I was staying with some friends overnight, and in the morning I had my choice of a myriad of shower products, and I reached for the volumizing shampoo. I'm also very fortunate. I was staying with some other friends, a lovely couple, for a couple of days. But one morning, I actually slipped and fell in the tub, and I broke a rib. But luckily, the husband, he's a doctor, and he rushed right home, and he helped me out of the tub. And his wife, she's a lawyer, and she's agreed to represent me when I sue them.
Oh.
That last incident, though, convinced me that I've made me admit to myself I am accident prone. It seems like every weekend I'm at my local urgent care for one reason or another. To the point that last weekend, when I didn't turn up at all, They called my emergency contact. They were concerned and wanted to be sure I was okay. I want to change the face of comedy, but I've come to realize that stand-up may not be right for me. The truth is, I don't really care where any of you are from. Really, how you're all doing out there tonight. So I've got 2 cats, Jerry and Ben. I wanted to get a third one, but all my friends said, Dave, don't do it. Don't get a third cat. If you do, you're going to be this crazy cat dude, and you're never going to be tender with a woman again. So I don't get the third cat. But even so, I do get to be tender every night. Every night when I'm singing my cats to sleep. I love Jerry. I love Jerry. I love Ben. I love Ben. I love Ben and Jerry. I love you all so very. Well, that is how the song goes. So it might surprise you that I'm single. By choice. Any number of women have made that choice over the years. I'm also very, I make very good choices, and I put myself on Tinder, and after 2 weeks, I didn't find a single hit on Tinder, and I started to wonder whether I'm Tinder material. So I took out a friend of mine from work. I took her to lunch, and I asked her point blank, do you think I'm Tinder material? And she didn't answer me. Well, at least she didn't say anything. What she did is she reached across the table and she swiped my face forcefully to her left. What that did is that sent me reeling to my right. So I still don't know. I might be Tinder material. I might not be. Like I said, I'm very optimistic. Another problem is I really do have excellent taste in women. I really do. But the problem with that is that means that they have excellent taste too. And I did meet a lovely woman online. I saw her profile, elegant, beautiful, intelligent, articulate, really perfect for me. But then I realized, well, she might be right for me, but I might not be quite right for her. Her profile read in all caps, judgmental men need not apply. And the first thing I noticed about her is that she had spelt the word judgmental wrong. So what strike against me is I really always preferred younger women all my life. I'm not proud of it anymore. But over the years, I realized I didn't want to be creepy. So what I did is I implemented what I call the Kennedy test. If she can remember where she was when she heard that Kennedy died, then it's cool, I can date her. And the reason that has worked for me is that every couple of years I change which Kennedy. Thanks, everyone. Good night.
All right, let's give it up for David Matters, everybody. And David, where can we find you on social media?
Well, I'm on Facebook. I have a fan page. I said I'm optimistic. Dave Matters. But I also have just a regular page called Dave Matters.
Awesome. Go check him out on that. And also look for him on the dating sites that he's going to ask you, which Kennedy do you remember? And I would not remember any of them because I am younger than that, but that's okay. But let's give him another big round of applause. Oh my gosh. You agree? Yeah, you do agree. It's weird having the judge actually in the room. I have to tell them to be really quiet, and it's been weird kind of watching them giggle over there. It's killing me, actually. Thanks. You're helping the show. You really are. No, they're not. Okay, I'm done with them right now. No, don't leave. Sit. Okay. I never thought having a live judge was going to be so tough. Now I understand why I have them on Zoom half the time. All right. Judge, are you ready for the next comedian combatant? Okay, you are? Oh my gosh. So let's give it up for our third comedian combatant of game number 2. Let's give it up for Grace Yell, everybody. Yeah. Woo!
Yeah, well, that's true. Like he said, my name is Grace Yao. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Canadian, so before we get started, I just want to apologize for everything, okay? I mean, for your feelings, for your emotions, for the fact there's not enough maple syrup in the US. I'm sorry, very sorry. Yeah. So, there's a lot of young girls and they're looking at their moms and they want to, I wonder, if the young girls want to be hot like their moms, they can, they just have to wait a few years, give it some time until they're in their 50s and they go through menopause. Oh, they'll be hot. Oh, and then cold again. They'll be hot again. It's never a dull moment. Oh, it's weird though. These young girls, they love this gray hair that menopause gave me. I mean, they're paying hundreds of dollars, putting chemicals in their hair just for this cremation gray. I don't get it. I mean, I'm all for there is beauty in every age, okay? But when I started going gray, I kept dyeing my hair black again because L'Oreal was on sale. BOGO. I mean, my mom wasn't even there, and I can hear her in my head. Get one free. Yeah, free. So I did. At the same time, my daughter was one of these young girls who kept dyeing her hair gray. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, she was dyeing her hair this menopause gray. Why? But it's okay. She's great. I mean, she took me out for Mother's Day. And the waiter came up to me and he said, "Are you the daughter?" Oh my God. I think I made out with the waiter that night. I mean, but my daughter was like, "Mom, you're so embarrassing." Well, her hair is gray by L'Oreal. My hair is gray because I'm worth it. Yeah, but I love my daughter. I love her, so I stopped dyeing my hair black. And she she was like, "Thanks, Mom." And I embraced the gray, all 50 shades of it. That this hair is not ready for the rocking chair. She's fiery, she likes to start with some light teasing. And then she's like, "Come on, I just want to be tied up." And then demanding, and she's like, "Get someone to blow me out." Okay, I see where your guys' brains are going. Just a blowout, just a blowout. Oh, I'm having much more fun with my hair than reading that 50 Shades book of boring. No, I have the gift of menopause. These young girls should be so jealous of it because, hey, I'm not spending $50 a week on pregnancy tests. I'm empty. No more eggs. The hot flashes, they keep me so warm in the winter. And you know what? I have an excuse to forget things. I just go, menopause brain. I can gaslight my husband and myself at the same time. I'm like, "Honey, stop eating the entire tub of ice cream in the freezer and stop shrinking my pants in the dryer. Wait a minute. Did I eat that ice cream? No, it can't be. No, it was you." So, I'm an Asian mom, and you can't tell the difference between what's Asian culture and what's OCD, but menopause can.
All
Thank
right.
you. Great.
Let's give it up for Grace Yao, everybody. Yeah. Grace, where can we find you on social media?
On Instagram, I'm Grace O Chang.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was great. And I just, the judge has got a question for me. Hold on a second. Just hold on. Okay. So that's who your Joker Ace for game number 2 is. All right. Joker Ace for game number 2 is Dave Matters, everybody. Yeah. And Dave, you're going to be on Dogfight Edition right after these important words. All right, we're ready for Dogfight Edition. Yeah! And we got our 2 Joker Aces for the night. We got Bob Lopatkin and Dave Matters facing off doing 3-minute sets, while the mysterious comedian judge over there is going to be deciding who is Ace of Aces tonight. So without further ado, we're going to go to our first Joker Ace of the night. Give it up for Bob Lopatkin, everybody. Yeah! Woo!
Well, thank you. You know, before the pandemic, my wife and I have done quite a bit of traveling. By the way, do you remember last year, Frontier and Spirit Airlines recently merged? This is a classic example of 2 wrongs don't make a flight.
Oh!
I could just hit new pre-flight briefing now. In the unlikely event you have some extra legroom, please tell your flight attendant. We can fix that. Our cabin is equipped with 2 exits in the rear, 2 over the wings, and 2 in the middle, and 2 in the front. And in case of a crash landing, there will be at least 2 more. In the unlikely event of a loss of cabin pressure, to get your oxygen mask down, you will need exact change.
Oh!
So we've done a bit of traveling, and we've gone on a number of cruises, and we like to play a game to track all the ports that we've had sex in. And I keep a list. Last I looked, she was way ahead. On our last cruise, my wife signed us up for massages, and we had a choice of masseuse. Now, I knew if I requested the female masseuse and I got excited, my wife would have a lot of questions for me. So I requested the male masseuse.
Whoa!
Now I have a lot of questions for me. Sometimes I like to travel alone, but someone always wants to tag along, like my wife. We were once heading to Rio de Janeiro, bikini capital of the world. My wife packed 10 sundresses, 6 bathing suits, 5 pairs of flip-flops, sunglasses, sunscreen, sun hat, I packed binoculars.
No!
At the airport, I saw a sign on the wall that said, "Passengers with suspicious luggage will be detained and might miss their flight." Well, I quickly got the weed out of my bag, and I put it in hers.
No.
Yeah. Did you? Thanks for the chuckle. Did you know the TSA will inspect any specific bag if you just flip them a couple of bucks?
Oh, really?
We spent some time in Paris. Great walking city. We walked everywhere. On one walk, my wife went in and bought that really potent perfume. You know, the one you could smell as you walk up and down the Champs-Elysees. The one the French use instead of bathing. The one they should rename to Chanel No. 2.
Oh.
And every hotel, every room, Airbnb, every restaurant had a bidet. Bidets were everywhere. I love the bidets. My ears have never been cleaner.
Oh.
Thank you so much. I'm going to end there. I'm Bob Lopatkin.
All right, let's give Bob Lopatkin a round of applause. Nice. Oh my gosh. And Bob, just remind us where we can find you on social media.
Social media, Bob Lopatkin, Instagram, and my website is boblopatkin.com.
All right, that was so cool. Let's give him one more big round of applause. That was awesome. All right, and okay, yeah, he isn't holding. Oops, I said it was a he. I didn't say your name, so you're lucky. Do you want to live at the Motel 6? I can't say your name if you want. All right, so they don't want me to say their name because they know what I pay for the Motel 6 on 8 Mile. So let's go to our next comedian combatant, shall we, for the second Joker Ace of the night. Let's give it up for Dave Matters, everybody. Yeah!
Yeah. So it's true. I can't have women. I just can't. But actually, I did. I managed to snag a third date one time, and but what she told me, she said, Dave, if we're going to go on a third date, I need you to get a battery of STD tests. And well, you know, I want the third date, so I go ahead and do it. But I got to tell you, if any of those tests come back positive, it's going to be the first known case of macular infection. So, and actually, some time back, I did have a long-term relationship with a psychiatrist. And no, that's not a joke. She was a psychiatrist. And but after 6 months, she said, Dave, if we're going to go on dating, you're going to have to take psychotherapy. And, you know, and it seems like a good thing. So I go ahead and I agree with it. And I realize now that she was right. I should have had my head examined for agreeing to that. But after 20 years, no progress. So now I just started doing what people nowadays do when they introduce those 800 helplines. So I dialed a number to get help that way. Your call is very important to us. On a scale of 1 to 10, how are you doing? If you think you have OCD, dial 2, then hit 5 3 times. Go to the restroom, wash your hands, come back, hit 2, and then 5 3 times, and then hang up in a huff. If you think you have ADD, press 1, then 9, then 1, then 9, then 1, and then hang up in a huff. But really, if all you're doing is just feeling kind of, if you think you're depressed and you just want a friend, hang up and dial 1-800-6969-6969. Hang up and I dial. Hi. Your call is very important to us, but unfortunately, none of us are here. If you want help, just say it ain't so, and have a good night, everybody.
All right, let's give it up for Dave Matters, everybody. Yeah. And Dave, remind us one more time where we can find you on social media.
On Facebook as Dave Matters.
Awesome. Go check him out there, and also call a phone number with 696969 in it, and that's where you'll find him too. Oh my gosh. So Judge, are you you got to pick the ace of aces. This is the toughest job of the show, minus booking the show, putting on the show, editing the show. Judge, you have the hardest job of the game. I told you I'd pay you after the show, okay? I don't know where my wallet is. Oh, you're going to talk to my money. Okay, thanks. You're funny. I'm glad he's my friend. Such a friend I have. All right, so who is Ace of Aces tonight? Okay. So Ace of Aces tonight is Bob Lopatkin, everybody. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, Dave. Bob, I'm going to say the other name. Bob, you get to do what we call a 90-second victory flyby, where comedians can either thank the Academy, thank their friends, or do 90 more seconds of jokes. And we start that now.
All right. Well, I had actually an anniversary of my own last year, 35 years as an orthodontist. I became a dentist for many reasons. I love working with young, healthy kids. I love creating beautiful smiles. But most importantly, I failed to get into medical school. Now, the pandemic's really changed the way we practice. We still take everyone's temperature. We double mask. And if I drop an instrument, there's no more 5-second rule.
Cool.
You may have noticed orthodontists rate their patients on a scale of 1 to 10 based on the difficulty of their problem. If I see number 1 on a chart, I'm looking forward to an easy case, start to finish. And if I see number 10 on the chart, I'm looking forward to an all-expense-paid 2-week Caribbean cruise. Now, even though I'm a dentist, many parents treat me as their family physician. Last month, a mom came up to me and asked, if I could think of some remedy to help with her son's constipation. I said, Mrs. Jones, I'm not a doctor. I don't like giving medical advice, but have you tried Taco Bell? Now, many adults now get these removable clear braces like Invisalign. You've heard of that?
Mm.
Last month, I was consulting with a mom about her Invisalign treatment when she turned to me and said, should I remove these for oral sex? I said, Mrs. Jones, it's really up to you, but just so you know, I'll also accept PayPal or Venmo. Thank you very much. I want to thank everyone for listening.
Oh my gosh. Let's give it up one more time for our Ace of Aces tonight. Bob Lopatkin, everybody. Oh my gosh. That was a brilliant set. The brilliant victory flyby. And you know what? That has been Bombing Run for tonight. I would like to thank all our comedian combatants on tonight. Steve Schwarz, Stacey Shipman, Bob Lopatkin, Linda Marcus Smith, Dave Matters, and Grace Yao, everybody. Let's give them all a big round of applause. Yeah, that'd be great. Big round of applause. And let's give it up for my live comedian judge tonight. Let's give it up for you, bad judgment. And I think I was a bad judgment letting them in the room. So well. That's, no. I don't know what this, I gotta get them out. Get out of here. That's been Bombing Run for the show tonight, guys. So for me, all the comedian combatants and bad judgment, this has been an oddly funny production. Thank you.
This has been an oddly funny production.